Good afternoon, Bronx Arts Middle. It's Mr. Naruski on Monday afternoon. Our first day of the fourth marking period is over. Thank you for those that have turned in their classwork for the day. That has a lot to do with just a reflection for Monday, April 27th on Google Forms. A couple of check-in questions reflecting on some of the past events and the past few weeks in distant learning. So you still have until 9 a.m. tomorrow for that. But this video is really going to be helpful for tomorrow's work, and that's April 28th. And if you could open up your assignment in Google Classroom, you will see the title, Texas Independence. And tomorrow we're going to be focusing on timeline of events. This is going to be something a little bit new for distant learning, so this video is going to be really helpful. If you would like to follow along, this would be very, very helpful for you to have. It is new to us on distant learning, but it's not new to us because we used to do this in the classroom often. And we're going to take some notes today. And in order to do that, there are 3 steps I'd like you to do. Steps 1, 2, and 3, and then turn in your assignment. Step number 1 is to fill in class notes using PowerPoint. You're going to have some blank class notes that you could edit, and you're going to have a PowerPoint presentation that goes step by step. Then, step 2, create 3 questions, and that's based on the information that you're learning about. And step number 3 is to write your own summary. You do those 3 steps, turn in your work, and your job for Tuesday is done. Here's a look at what the Google Doc looks like. Each of you has your own copy of it. I'm just going to open up mine so I have it as well. And that's titled Texas Independence Classwork or Class Notes. And it's for Tuesday, April 28th. We're going to be looking at Texas getting their independence, getting their freedom. The state of Texas as we know it actually becomes its own country, and we're going to kind of talk about the timeline of events that unfold. In order to do this completely, you need to do step 1, number first, and that is to fill in the missing words using the PowerPoint. We used to do this in our own classroom, filling in notes that are missing. This is very similar. You're just going to be typing in those words that are missing. And where do you get this information from? Well, if you go back to Google Classroom, you will see the PowerPoint, and this is your own copy. You could see it. You just cannot edit it at this point. I think it's really helpful for you to maybe make 2 screens. So I'm just going to split my screen so I have 2 things, and I'm clicking and dragging the screen, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller on one side. I'm going to do the same thing for this screen. I'm just going to shrink the screen so I have a split screen. I could see the PowerPoint at the same time that I could see my notes. So on one side of the screen are my notes. They're blank right now. There's some words that are missing. And on this side is the actual PowerPoint. And you could go step by step, year by year, just like we do in class. But our goal is to fill in the missing words and complete this timeline accurately. So we start in the year 1820. In green, you're going to see 1820. That's the year that these events are happening. And any word that's missing, I'd like you to type in your own notes. So the first word is missing, and that's Mexico. Mexico wins independence from Spain. I literally copied word by word the words that were missing from this line, this sentence. And then I moved on to the second sentence, and it starts with American. Settlers received permission from Mexico to move into Texas. So any words that are missing, settlers, permission, move, Texas. At this point, the United States borders Mexico, but there's land right here, and that is called Texas. Texas was actually part of Mexico in 1820, but the Mexican government said Americans can move here, they could settle here as long as they do 3 things. If they want land in Texas, there's 3 requirements. The first one is that they have to learn how to speak Spanish. They have 10 years to learn, but they really want everyone in Texas to speak Spanish, just like everybody else in Mexico speaks Spanish. The second one is to convert to Catholicism. That is a religion that is mostly Catholic and followed by most people in Mexico. Most people in America at this point are Protestantism. It's a different type of religion, but the Mexican government says, we'll give you land if you convert. And the last one is, it's a big one, no slavery. Cannot have slaves in Mexico. Mexico outlawed slavery way before the United States did so. And if you're going to move into Texas, you cannot bring your slaves with you. And that was a little bit of a debatable issue that our country had because the United States had slaves at that point. Your PowerPoint is going to continue year by year. If you notice, I have 1820, and then I can continue down. I see 1830. There are some things that transition. I see 1836. Anything blue, I made as like a major event or vocabulary word. And anything in orange would be key people to have. Your first task is to complete all of those events, everything in your timeline, step by step. When you get down after 1845, you will see your next two tasks. Step number 2, questions. Create 3 of your own questions or areas of confusion based on the information in the notes. And you're going to see a column here on the left-hand side, step number 2, where it says questions. You are creating your own questions. You could be the teacher here and you're asking good questions. You could also write your own questions because you're confused about something when it comes to the information. You need at least 3. Do not leave this blank. Do not say you have any questions. You could create your own questions as if you were the teacher if you're really, really stuck. And the last step is step number 3. Write your own summary, and you're going to find that on the bottom of your class notes. Step 3, summary. Write your own summary of today's notes. Condense all that information into 3 sentences as a response. You want to use information, but you also want to make sure this relates to you, that you could put it in an understandable way. And again, you could type your responses right in that space provided. When all 3 steps are done, there'll be a gray button up top where it says to turn in. You may turn in your work to get full credit. If this is too confusing for you, if you have questions on this step 1, 2, or 3, stick around for Google Meet tomorrow morning at 9:30. Other than that, guys, have a great afternoon, and I will see you guys tomorrow.